Well, it's good to be back here again with you as we kind of come to the close of our Christmas season. I want to I want to report to all of you that in our giving that we do here at North Point, we call it Advent Conspiracy, kind of giving sacrificially so that we can give gifts to other people. Our total is now up to $18,657. Just amazing. I'm so grateful for your participation in this. If you'd still like to, if you haven't had the opportunity yet to participate, you can. Just go ahead and contact us, and we'd be glad to help you process that. So around here, yesterday was Christmas Day, and I hope yours was a wonderful experience for you and your family. I know it was for me, and I want to just kind of tie a bow on our Christmas season here at North Point by sharing with you something that I shared with people last Sunday. In our live service, we had children come up who are part of our children's Sunday school, and they sang. They had a little presentation that they had made. It was really pretty cool, and I got up at the end of it and I connected it to a small but really significant side story of the narrative surrounding the birth of Jesus in the Bible. I want to share that with you today. Hundreds of years before Jesus was born, a man of God predicted the future. The prophet Micah said that a new king who would rule over all of Israel would be born in a small town of Bethlehem. We can read about it in Micah chapter 5, verse 2, where it says, "But you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, though you are small among the clans of Judah, out of you will come for me one who will be ruler over Israel, whose origins are from old, from ancient times." Nearly 750 years later, Jesus was born. King Herod called all of the Jewish religious leaders of that day together and asked them, "Where is this king? Where is this new ruler? Where was this Messiah that you speak of born?" And they told him, "Bethlehem," just as the prophet Micah had written so many years before that time. Wow. Jesus came to us not only from a people group, not only from a slice of history that we can look back on and read about. He also came to us from a place, Bethlehem, in Israel. I know lots of people who have had the opportunity to travel to the Holy Land and walk on the dirt of Bethlehem to see where it was located, to know that it's not just a make-believe place, but a real place. I grew up in the city. I am a 100% card-carrying city kid. I grew up right in the middle of about 1 million people, and then just 10 miles or so south of where I grew up, right across the border, was another 1 million or so people. Wow. couple of million people around me. And I got to tell you, I love the city. I love the lights. I love the activity. I love the opportunities. I love the options. And you can call me crazy, but I love the crowds. I just did a wedding ceremony kind of south of Dallas here, 2 or 3 hours, and it was out in the country. The wedding ceremony was actually on a ranch, and you had to drive kind of it felt like in nowhere for quite a while just to get to this ranch. So different from what I grew up in. In a city, you can have whatever you want, whenever you want it, 24 hours a day. Another thing about the city is that if you care to, it's pretty easy to hide. Because when you're around a couple of million people, you become just another face in the crowd. Cities are crazy places. But people who grow up in small towns have a completely different experience. The activities are, well, you could say they are limited. The opportunities are endless if you know someone at one of the 3 businesses in town. If they're offering a job, you've got opportunities. The Dairy Queen and the bowling alley are the dining and entertainment options. Unless you happen to have a theater that's showing one movie. And the other thing about small towns, pretty much everyone knows who you are, everyone knows where you live, and everybody knows what you've done. That was Bethlehem. At the time of Jesus' birth, most scholars agree that Bethlehem might have had about 300 people living in it. The name Bethlehem in Hebrew means house of bread. What a beautiful name. The bread of life comes into the world in a small village named the House of Bread on the outskirts of Jerusalem. How fitting. A small town feeds the world like loaves of bread in Jesus' hands feeds the masses. From the small places, the out-of-the-way places, the places where everyone knows your business, the places where one wonders if anything good can even come out of them, comes God's greatest deliverance of all. Though you are small, little town, out of you will come a ruler who will be the Redeemer of the world. Today, in our time, small packages have reminded us that Jesus is still the King. From his miraculous birth in a tiny town to his life of love and example of selflessness for his followers, to step in footsteps that are so clear for us to follow in, to his sacrifice on the cross, and ultimately to his resurrection from the dead. All of that is how he proved his greatness and his worth. And in the smallness, in the plainness of the bread and the juice, I suppose we experience the most profound of all gifts, and that is the gift of His life for ours. And that's what we remember every time we come around the Lord's table to experience His supper laid out for us. And that's what we remember today. And that's really what the Christmas story has always been about. So until next time, see ya.
You've turned my tears of sadness into such joy and gladness. My heart can't keep it in. I'm shouting, shouting. In your light, I find my strength. In your truth, I overcome. In your praise, I lose myself. In your love, you turn my tears of sadness into such joy and gladness. My heart can't keep it in. I'm shouting, shouting. You turn my tears of sadness into such joy and gladness. My heart can't keep it in. I'm shouting, shouting. In your joy, I find my strength. In your hope, I overcome. In your grace, I lose myself. In your love, you turn my tears of sadness into such joy and gladness. My heart can't keep it in. I'm shouting, shouting. You turn my tears of sadness into such joy and gladness. My heart can't keep it in. I'm shouting, shouting. You turn my tears of sadness into such joy and gladness. My heart can't keep it in. I'm shouting, shouting. You turn my tears of sadness into such joy and gladness. My heart can't keep it in. I'm shouting, shouting.
God bless y'all. Have a great week.